restrictions, yeah. COVID restrictions.
No.
Don't you think it's interesting? November's coming up and all of a sudden restrictions are being loosened. Like, think about it.
Yeah, it's election season.
It's like,
All the
oh,
fun-
put your mask on. Oh, get your shot. Oh, mandates. Oh, wait a minute. I want to be reelected? Yeah, you know, you don't have to really get the shot. Yeah, don't wear your mask. It's fine. You know, now all of a sudden they're changing the rules. You know?
Yeah, because they know people are getting tired and they want the vote. They want to be reelected.
Well, of course. That's how it's all about politics. I've been saying this forever. It had never been about a virus. It was all about politics and control. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Fuck politics. Fuck the government.
Now, to a certain extent, I'll agree with that. Like, but for the most part, you know what? I don't trust other people to not help out with mitigate this whole thing. Like, yeah, the vax pass, that's like going too far. Okay? But
Yeah.
But you know what? Trying to fight this from the inside, I lost way too many people from this. It's very much real. I've had people tell me, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I got 8 years in the field, too. I don't know what I'm talking about, yet I work bedside nursing.
Well, you know, somebody's YouTube opinion and somebody's, you know, keyboard warrior opinion out trumps, you know, all of your experience in whatever field you work in,
yeah.
no matter what, you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to call it right now because I think the biggest thing right now is unmasking the kids. I said this on Facebook last week. You yank their masks off the kids now. Give it a few months. We're going to be seeing kids going back to remote. I can see it now. Our schools are going to be going remote because we've been very stupid about this.
I respectfully disagree.
I kind of knew.
And
I saw
here
that.
it
I saw that one
comes. So, masks are pointless. They've been going back and forth too many times about these masks. Fauci has not been clear
Consistent.
at all. Personally, I think he's a moron. You know, and yeah, sure, I'll get people like, oh, but he's a doctor and you're not. I don't care. I have an opinion. I think he's a moron.
I think if he was consistent before he said anything,
I just wish he never
think he
said
would have been
that.
better off.
I wish he never said children can catch AIDS by being in the same room as their parents. This guy's a moron. Like, I don't understand why we trust him. Like, he was killing puppies. Oh, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway.
Yeah, don't.
That'd be too much.
I don't know if we got the time.
Well, we've got time.
Time's of the essence. Sorry.
But no, these masks are hurting these kids. Period. Emotionally, socially, physically, they're hurting these kids. Period. And nobody should be worrying about the children passing this virus when the number when a kid gets this virus, it goes through them and out of them like it's nothing. A mask is not going to stop them from spreading it to you. They already said that. They said that already. You are, if you were 80 years old, maybe you would be worried about it, you know, or if you had some serious health issues, you know, where if you catch something, you're really going to get messed up. Okay, then I understand that, and I get that. But these kids, who are they protecting? Are they protecting the kids, or are they trying to protect the teachers?
I think it's a little bit of both because Delta and Omicron, they hit the kids the hardest.
Right,
From
but
what we've seen.
it transmutes to the kids the hardest, but it doesn't hit them the hardest.
There's cases where it has hit the
Minuscule. It's a selected few cases that people are glorifying to make it seem like all these kids are dying, and it's a false number. It's just absolutely like it takes 5 seconds of research to look that up, and I would if I had my other computer, but I don't, and I'd put it right in front of you. But right now it's just it's not true. It's just simply not true. Are there kids dying? Yeah, but those are the kids that have underlying issues of something else. They don't just catch COVID and then die. There's
been completely healthy people that have
children.
I haven't looked that far, honestly.
Exactly, because you're not going to find it. If you have a completely normal, healthy child, he catches COVID. That kid is just basically catching a cold. That's what the Omicron. The reason why Omicron or Omicron or whatever the fuck it's called. The reason why it's transmuting so much is because that's what a virus does. It was deadly at first, and then it mutated because of the vaccine. And then after that, then you had the Delta, and everybody was really
it was Delta, Omicron, and then there's like a new one
of course
where Omicron and Delta are like combined essentially.
And I bet you that'll be a problem after November.
But see, here's the thing. Going off of what I know working in the field, if a virus mutates, it's because it's been passed on too much. That's what it's been. It's being passed on too much.
It's because it's starting to survive.
That's what
if you give yourself a vaccine, the virus will mutate to combat the vaccine. If they would have just let people, if people would have just took alternative care methods, like just take care of yourself, take vitamins,
wash your fucking hands.
Right? Yeah, you know.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do. Early on into this, when people were hoarding the toilet paper.
Oh man.
I did a Facebook Live. You may have seen it. You may have seen it in my live.
So ridiculous. I couldn't believe it.
Toilet paper gates.
Look,
so bad.
Being the typical healthcare worker I am, that irritated the fuck out of me when I walked into Trader Joe's in LaGrange and seen not one shred of toilet paper, but a whole slew of soap. I got on Facebook Live real quick because I have a whole bunch of people on there. I'm like, motherfuckers, listen.
It wasn't actually soap. It was hand sanitizer.
No, soap. It was soap.
No,
too.
it was soap. It was soap. Soap was gone. The paper towels were gone. The toilet paper was gone.
Trader Joe's, no joke. Trader Joe's over in LaGrange and Ogden. Tell me why, at the start of this, there was absolutely no toilet paper in any store you walked in. But every store I walked in, including the Trader Joe's I was talking about, had a whole bunch of soap. I kind of, like I said, I'm like, motherfuckers, listen. This virus so far does not cause you to have those motherfucking shits.
Right? Like, what are you doing?
Hoard me toilet paper. What y'all need to be doing, your best bet to get ahead of this is wash your fucking hands.
I get the hand sanitizer. I get the Clorox surface cleaners and all that stuff. I get that. But why you gotta mess with my 2-ply, man?
It gets better.
I think at this point
it get better because all the stores were price gouging toilet
paper.
Oh,
I know.
The Peach by his mom and dad's
it was bad.
Were price gouging. You should have seen. I was cracking up at this one text he got from his dad. Like, these motherfuckers over at Pete's are price gouging the hand sanitizer.
And then, like, that's what they're doing with the masks too. Well, now they're providing what is it called? N95s for free. If you go into Jewel, they have like this big.
Those
thing.
are your best bets against this. The N95s.
Well, yeah, because those are like the medical masks and everything, and those masks, I can see those masks working. Okay,
and you know what?
I can see them stopping whatever, but if you can take the mask, and this is like the perfect thing to test it with. Take the mask, grab a feather, put the mask on, put the feather in front of your mouth, below. If that feather moves, the mask is useless. Because if air can get through it, then water droplets get through it, and something microscopic is definitely going to get through it.
Well,
in or out, it doesn't matter.
Well, see, they've been saying this. The N95s have been the most effective. The surgical mask, like if you go in for like a routine surgery or something, I guarantee you your surgeon's going to be wearing a surgical mask. And the surgical mask is pretty much, if you have it covering your nose and your mouth, it's going to be stopping the droplets from your nose and mouth
Right.
going
Outward.
Outward, yeah. So that's the whole purpose of the surgical mask.
Right, and that's what I thought. That was the whole point in general. Was the masks weren't there for you to protect yourself. They were for you to protect everyone else.
It's pretty much it.
And I say, mind your own business. Stay out of my face, and you won't worry about when I sneeze.
Yeah, if you stay.
Nobody should be right here in your face anyway.
Yeah,
unless you're trying to swap spit with them, you know. Like,
look. Trust me, in my line of work, I have stories. Okay, we can be up all night with the stories I got. I guarantee you, there's a good amount of people that have no idea what personal space is.
Yeah, no, I know a few of them, and good people. It's just like
they have no concept of it.
it's like, hey, buddy, come in 2 feet. No, I do. But yeah, it's you gotta. Sometimes it's just the way they are. It's some, you know. It just.
Yeah, it's like if I'm too close to someone, I honestly want them to tell me, hey, motherfucker, you're too close. Back the fuck up a bit.
It's like I can smell you.
It's like your armpits are nasty.
If somebody can smell you and that close, you're, buddy, like, pretty sure you just had asparagus. Like, you know, it's like, man, if I could smell you, then you're too close. Or if like man, like the other day we were waiting in line like at the grocery store, and I'm sitting there and I have my kids, and I just feel this like air, this hot air like hitting the back of me, and I just turn around and there's this guy just and I'm just like, and I don't give a fuck if he was wearing a mask or not. That's his choice, you know. It should always be about personal choice, but the fact that I felt him just like on me, like, bro, back up, like, just
right
2 steps away from me. If I can do this and like I can like touch you, you're too close.
Yeah, I mean, and I've always told people, if I do my job correctly, because seeing that I travel to different facilities and some of them do still have active COVID cases, I always tell people, if I do my job correctly, I'm not going to be bringing it back anywhere.
Right.
I'm more concerned about walking into the grocery store, doing my shopping, and catching it at the grocery store than I am at work.
And you know what? And that's what a lot of people fail to realize, is that it's a virus. You can catch it anywhere. Even if you're sitting down at a table with your mask off, the virus just doesn't stop. You know, it's just like, oh, because I came into this building and I was wearing a mask at the door, that means the virus stopped at the door, but I could take my mask off when I'm over here because, you know.
We have some interrupters here. Intermission.
It's okay.
We got the cup.
Whose cup is that?
It's probably Christopher's.
Whoops. Oh well.
I literally just got destroyed by milk.
Wait.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
What were we talking about?
Right where we left off.
Alright.
But yeah, like I just think the whole mask mandate, all that mask stuff is ridiculous. It's just, I don't think it mattered whatsoever with the masks. Now, is there a virus out there? Yeah, of course there is. Yeah.
I feel like
But I don't think the masks would have mattered either way. Honestly.
I feel like I've done I feel like these last 2 years, this work I've done trying to actively stop this thing from spreading, I feel like it's all been for nothing.
Well, see, this is what I don't. This is what irks me. What's the name of that one I can't remember what network she works for. She looks like a teenage boy. What's her name? Maddow, Rachel? Yeah, that thing. So when the vaccine and the booster became available for everybody, she was the first or one of the first people to literally say, once you get this shot, you can't spread it. You can't catch it. It won't do this, it won't do that, and you'll be fine. She said that on the fucking news. But yet, if a person like me or poor Joe Rogan or Steven Crowder says something like that, they get banned. This video will probably get banned too for saying it, but I don't care. Like, we'll see.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They've been the government said from day one. Now, here's what's real funny, is they started rolling out the vaccine. They started doing the trials under Trump.
Right, yeah. The warp speed thing, yeah.
Trump did.
And then all the Democrats said that they would refuse to take that vaccine because Trump put it out. But then when Trump got out of office and it was Biden, which were the same vaccine. The same vaccine. Then all of a sudden they're like, you absolutely need it.
There's some Republicans out there that they're like, oh no, because Biden is saying it, I'm not getting it either. It's on both sides.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Either way you look at it, it should still be individual choice. It shouldn't be forced on you. We shouldn't, like, no offense to anybody, but I shouldn't have to care about your health, just like you shouldn't have to care about mine. You know, this is like all that abortion talk. My body, my choice. What happened? I know I'm hearing like little ghostly voices in the background, like what's happening.
Sorry, yeah.
But it's like the Democrats were pushing my body, my choice so hard, and then when the vaccine came out, they were like, nah, none of that. You have to take. Go get this max.
That's how you guys get both sides. That's how you get both sides to like stop pushing vaccine mandates and abortion laws. If you really wanted to be my body, my choice, keep Roe versus Wade, and don't have vaccine mandates. There you go. There's the middle ground.
Right there.
Don't have either or.
Right. We won't tell you what to do. We won't tell you how to do your thing, and you don't tell us how to do our thing. I mean, honestly, I think the only with the whole abortion thing, I really do. I don't think it's Republican against like Democrat kind of thing. I think the whole abortion issue is more Christianity versus whatever the hell that is. You know, because like I know a lot of Republicans that
religion against politics.
There you go. It's religion against politics, more or less.
Now, from a health, touching on that, it's not going to be a little bit, so then I'm going to toss that one out the window.
Never mind. Next topic.
But see, coming from a healthcare worker standpoint, I've even discussed this with many nurses, and we all see the same thing. I see the same thing as the nurses do. If you put a ban on abortion, this is where gun laws and abortion laws are going to be very similar. My uncle, my mom's brother, who's a concealed carry instructor, last I checked, he told me one thing, and he told me this years ago, and it kind of still rings in my head. Firearm laws only apply to the law-abiding citizen. You make abortion laws, they're only going to apply to the law-abiding citizen. You're going to have women,
of course,
that are going to be so hell-bent on getting an abortion no matter what, they're going to turn to the black market.
Of course. No matter what, it's going to happen. Now, granted, the number of abortion is going to drop dramatically, which would probably increase the population, which is probably a good thing.
Not in this market, honestly.
Well,
we gotta do something about the wages.
It's harder.
It's harder. Like we're strapped for cash too here. It's like, and it would be easy. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't regret having my kids. It's just life would be a little easier for us financially if we didn't have the kids.
Sure, but that's that's
It is what it is.
It's a faded, it's a faded topic because it's like you have the kids. You know what I mean? Like we can wish and this and that, but the fact is we have the kids. So
but
we
you
gotta
know
make
what?
it
They're
happen.
not
You gotta
gonna be
make it
under our
work.
roof. They're not going to be under our roof forever, though. So.
Nope.
So
Yeah,
it's like-
I'm not in the business of taking care of somebody for the rest of their life, unless it's me. Like I don't know. I mean,
Unless you get married.
I feel like, even then, I mean, it is what it is. Even then, it's like you gotta have that level of, hey, you do you, I do me.
Right.
I mean, you tell I don't know. It's that's gonna be a good topic for another time. The whole marriage
Right.
topic. That's gonna I'm gonna put that down. That'll be another episode. Because that's something that you could talk about for forever. The whole what should you do in a marriage? How do you keep a happy marriage? Happy wife or happy wife, happy life, kind of thing. But guess what? That's a two-way street.
Yeah.
A lot of women, and man, I'm gonna get hate for this, but a lot of women take that the wrong way, and they think of marriage as in, no, you take care of me. And it got like the roles of because of this like new age feminism crap.
He's got the chocolate milk now.
Oh my god.
I love
Next topic. Throw away milk. Otherwise your children are going to spill milk and it's going to smell bad, and it smells bad. Oh, I love kids, but I don't love the messes they make. So that brings me to my next topic. How do you discipline your kids? Do you tell them no? Do you smack them in the hand? Do you send them to the corner? Do you give them the belt? Like, what's the best way to discipline your children?
I think it really depends on the age. Like, we mostly do timeout.
And does it work though? Like, or is it one of those? He's okay for an hour, but then like.
I'll give him a look.
You got
Yeah,
right?
we have a look.
The dad, man, and I'll say this right now, dads. First of all, dads, don't give up on your children. Don't be a deadbeat. Stick around. Second of all, dads have just got this magical thing where you raise your voice and you give them the look, and they just know. They just know.
Oh, like there's been times where Johnny will be at work. It's me and Oliver at the house, and he'll be acting up. I'll be like, okay, Oliver, cut it out, or you're going to time out. Or if he keeps getting into something like that he's not supposed to, I'll tell him a couple times, and then I'll slap his hand.
Right.
Like, no, you're not supposed to do that. I mean, I'm one of those. If you feel like, I'm not going to judge you if you crack your kids one because I've been there. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
depending on what it is,
nice little slap in the back of the head.
yeah, I mean, depending
Come on,
on
man,
what it
straighten
is, yeah, go ahead. I mean, we all grew up in a time where you got your ass cracked depending on what it was. You disrespected an adult, you got your ass cracked.
Yeah.
That's me. I'll crack you one. If you're being disrespectful, yeah. Like, I won't crack her one, but, she's 15 now, and I'll tell her, if she starts mouthing off, especially to her dad, even though it didn't work out between me and him, I'll sit there and I'll tell her, hey, look, he's still your dad.
Yeah.
Be nice to your dad. Be nice to your dad.
Usually, the main parent that the children live with or the kid lives with, usually that parent gets more disrespected and more like arguments, stuff like that. because it's like they're so comfortable being around that parent. You know what I mean? Like if they go to, like say, like my example, my kids come here every weekend, you know, but during the week, it's always an issue. Every day I'm getting a phone call or a text saying, oh, Gabby's not doing this, Gabby's not listening, Gabby's a problem, this, and that. So I got to take care of it, you know. Once it gets to a certain point, Dad has to get involved. Now, I think I think the perfect age to use the belt on is from 5 to about 10 or 11 years old, because then you instill that fear in them, like, and you only have to do it once if you do it right. I'm not saying crack your kids, send them to the hospital, you know, beat the crap out of your kids. I'm not saying that.
Just like a simple backhand.
It's spanking, a good
like hard enough to get the point across.
Literally the one time I ever used a belt on my kids was when she just was out of control. Like, her emotions went crazy. She started flipping out, screaming, throwing everything around, causing a fit, would not do anything. It was so overwhelmingly out of control. Nothing was working. So I said, screw it. Grab the belt. Bow! Payload right in the ass. What did she do? She never fucking did that. What she got hit for, she never did again. Period. She never did it again. And right now, I use listen. First, I'm going to ask you. Then, I'm going to tell you. And once we get to option 3, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
First, I ask you, then I tell you, and if I have to go to a third option, you're not going to like it. And that's like, see, some parents do the confiscation thing, like, oh well, we'll take your toys, or we'll take screen time from you, or you can't do this for so long.
Sometimes that works with the older kids, though.
I feel like that literally only works for the for teenagers, because they're so into social media and their phones, and they're so worried about what everybody else is thinking and saying. You take that platform away from them, it'll drive them nuts, and that's like the perfect punishment for them, because it cuts them away from their social life, and they really don't, especially as a teenager.
That's how her dad has it set up, because she's screwed. She did something wrong, and her dad has her, because it's an iPhone, and her account is now under her dad's, to where he can control, how much screen time she gets. Mm-hmm. He has it set to where she can only call, text, FaceTime a handful of people.
See, like right now, our kids are playing in the other room. There's YouTube on the TV. They're doing whatever. I can go on my phone right now, turn that TV off.
Yeah.
From here. And I really
Same
do
with
like
my
that.
phone.
I love that. I love that little aspect, because it does limit the screen time kids get. And that's another problem. I truly believe that
of it.
Screen time is just as bad as a drug addiction. Because you give kids, you put them in front of a TV or screen or whatever to watch YouTube or go on social media. Like that. If they get so addicted to it, that's when they start to act up, because when you try to take away that's when they start being bad, and they flip out, and they lose their shit. And I just think that I think parents should severely limit the time kids are able to go on these social media platforms or YouTube or that what is that stuff, the TikTok?
Yeah,
yeah. That I can go on I'll do a whole video on that.
I'm gonna chime in on this.
The producer.
Back in the day, we never had none of this stuff.
Right?
No.
You went outside. You went to play baseball.
Hell yeah.
There was no. The only thing you had electronic was like your Nintendo.
Yeah.
That was it. I'm talking about the original NES.
Right, yeah. Growing up in the 80s, early 90s, man, that was good times.
And then here's the thing, too. Lights come on, your ass better be home.
Oh, yeah. That was, yeah. Like,
Now?
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, I mean, the tablets, the iPhones, the social media and everything like that, they go to school and they don't know what the hell they're learning.
That's true.
And then when they come home, parent asks you what you doing, what you do in school. Oh, school. And then
See,
they
that
go
drives
right
me
back
nuts.
to the tablet.
Yeah, that
They
drives
go
me
right to the
nuts.
tablet.
My daughter did that for a while. I put an end to that.
Yeah.
Because I got really tired of asking her every day, what'd you do in school? Oh, I don't know. What'd you get for homework? Oh, I didn't. No, you did. Like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah, because everything's done through the computer now.
Right, or oh, I don't remember. Like, really? You just came from there. Like,
What we do is we have Evelyn pull it up on her school computer.
Here's a question. What happened to the days where kids just go out and play?
I don't know.
It's non-existent anymore.
I don't know.
You don't see kids going to the parks. You don't see them playing.
And when you do,
Yeah, there it goes.
On the phone, yeah.
that's all you see.
Yeah.
We're the next generation of kids. I swear to God, we're gonna have a hump right here, cause that's all it is. Every day.
And it makes them stupid.
When I go to family things or when I go to it doesn't even matter, anything family gathering or whatever, you notice like all the older generations are sitting there with their beer or their drink, they're sitting there drinking, having a talk, sitting outside playing bags, doing this stuff. Where are all the kids?
Sit down on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when we have with our iPad, yeah, Oliver uses it a lot, but I have it set up on my phone what apps he can use, how long he can use it, the iPad for, who he can contact, who he can send messages to.
Right. See, in growing, my mother was really, 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 really strict. Like, typical short, 4'9" Puerto Rican, I hate the fucking world woman. And I breathed wrong, and I'm getting something smacked to the, like, I'm out. Like, I don't even know how many times my mother knocked me the fuck out. But it happens. It happened to me. But because of her being so strict, I never I never had a social life. I wasn't allowed to go outside unless it was for school. I couldn't have any friends over. I couldn't do anything. So in my case, all I had was my Nintendo. All I had was that screen. And even then, it was only about an hour out of the day. Maybe 2. Which made it really hard to beat games like Zelda when you only have an hour to play.
Zelda is a long game.
Isn't it? One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Original.
But it's like you can't, it's... I don't know. I just think that kids do need to go out there and have fun. When I was a kid, again, when I turned into a teenager, that's when my mom was like, all right, you're going into sports. You're going to do this, and you're going to do that, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And it's like, I was voluntold to do it. I never really wanted to do any of it, but she made me do it. But back then, it's really hard to explain because, like,
It was like the golden era.
I swear, man. Everybody always talks about all the good old days, But like back then, it was a lot simpler because we didn't have all of these crazy devices in our faces.
Yeah.
We literally had a big tube TV that weighed 400 or 500 freaking pounds. What are you gonna do?
God.
Carry that motherfucker down the street with a generator? Like you couldn't do stuff like
You're
that.
talking about like a tube TVs, like
Yeah, the big, like,
19
gigantic.
19
Oh
inch
my God.
TV.
Not even a 19-inch, even the smaller ones. Even,
Yeah, with the speaker on each side. Yeah.
right?
No, you got one with the. You have to have the rabbit ears to actually.
Oh, those are my favorite, man. And I remember playing Mario 1, 2. All right, put it on channel 3. Click, click,
Yeah.
click, 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 click. It was good times, but my point is we weren't able to take it everywhere.
Yeah.
You spend your little time on your screen, on your game, and then you go about your business. When you're done, you go outside, you go play. Or you go hang out with your buddies, or you go to the sands and play some fucking baseball. You go to the fucking, go grab a football, grab 8 friends, 4-on-4, grab 10 friends, 5-on-5, stuff like that. It was fun.
See, the thing is, when you're fun, you cause like a little trouble, but it was fun.
Oh, we caused a lot of trouble. Don't be.
Okay, now
Don't be bashful.
I know I caused many.
Look. And I think that's that. I mean, besides all the looters and the rioters, and they're mostly older teenagers and whatnot. But the one thing I will give to the Screen Society is the fact that it kind of keeps a lot of kids out of trouble.
yeah.
Because it's made a generation extremely soft, and they don't want to have like confrontation or whatnot. But man, when I was a kid, I'll meet you by the pole, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're scrapping.
Oh God.
or you have a problem with another group of kids, you're scrapping.
Look, I remember there.
Well, you were from my area.
Yeah, 46
So,
and Hermitage
yeah.
and like the wood.
So like,
and
you
the-
know Edwards, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Kids go. You want to start a fight? You go 2 blocks down there. Go to an alley. You start a fight there.
Hit the alleys, man.
Oh shit! Some of the kids at Central Junior, well, it's Central Middle School now in Evergreen, because let's not forget, I grew up in the suburbs. But when I went, it was Central Junior High, and whenever there was a fight, most of the time it took place on school property. The dumbasses.
Well,
Sorry, y'all. I know some of you are gonna see this.
here's the thing. Here's the mentality with fighting in school. It's a spur of the moment thing, but you know you can do it because you're gonna get at least 2 to 3 hits off before they break you up.
Yeah. Now it's not such an age anymore.
You know.
You get a fight and then shoot somebody.
Yeah, right. If somebody gets into a fight now, they'll just pull a pistol out and shoot you. You know, it's like why? Like nobody believes in fighting anymore. Yeah, everybody want to just pull a gun real quick and just shoot. Right? You know, like man, just duke it out. Come on, like 5 minutes. Person's on the ground after 5 minutes. The argument's over. Shake hands. Go about your life.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we used to do. You get into this crazy fight, you know, and when it's all over.
It used to be like 1-on-1. Now it's like,
I
got my voice.
Yeah. That kind of started when that was. I mean, that's like the gang mentality thing. You know, I was never involved in any gangs or anything like that. So it was always me and maybe 2 of my friends. And if we did fight, it would be 1-on-1.
Yeah.
But there would be a lot of times where we would fuck with the gangbangers, and you know, like, and we would go back and forth with them, and then all of a sudden there's like 15-on-3. It sucked, but you learned your lesson, and you realize you get them 1 by 1. You know?
Yeah, I didn't have that problem.
I can't imagine in Evergreen. I mean, maybe now, I don't know. Like, I mean, now there's like shootings in
It's
farther suburbs. It's starting to like kind of bleed downward and
yeah, that's
outward
what I was saying the
out of
last
cities.
time I was here. Yeah, the city's problems is starting to spill over into the suburbs.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, you got. I mean, Oakland's seeing it. Evergreen Park's seeing it.
Yeah, I saw the Citizen app last night. Now,
And now, Hickory Hills is starting to see it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like now.
There was a murder down the street a couple weeks ago. Dude, 2 white kids got killed at the bar.
Crossing, yeah.
They I think they shut it down too.
Yeah.
Because
They pulled the license or something.
yeah, and that sucks because that was a decent bar. I mean, I don't
I've
go to
never
bars,
been
but
there.
it's a
Well,
decent
not that
bar.
location.
And they have good food. Not gonna lie, the pizza was pretty decent. The wings were really good. That's probably what I'm gonna miss the most. But no, it was an okay environment, you know. But people just don't know
Know
how
how to act.
They don't know how to handle themselves.
They don't know how to act. That's what it is.
And that's just it's a sad reality, and it's. I mean, we're in the fucking suburbs. Like, seriously,
Yeah,
we
we
shouldn't
should
have
be
to worry
seeing
about
this
going
shit.
outside and
Like I
getting
was
hit
saying,
getting hit by a stray bullet or nothing. But that's
like
just
I
the
was
reality
saying,
of it.
the last night, I'm still close with Evelyn's dad's side of the family. I'm close with them. I'll admit that they're family to me. So on Citizen, I get, because it's an app now, the Citizen app, I get a notification that there's a man brandishing a gun, and it's like not even 3 blocks from my mom and dad's house in Evergreen Park. So of course I got Evelyn's grandmother, her dad's mom, saying, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's on the other side of my parents." I'm inside.
Yeah, I think the closest that kind of violence ever happened was when the dude got shot right here on Southwest Highway. Like, I can't remember the situation, but all I remember is there's just so many ambulances and that the streets were kind of blocked off and everything for a little while.
Yeah, and you're like, what's going on?
Right. And me being right here on the street, it's just, you see all the traffic going by and it's insane. I mean, man.
Lightfoot needs to get it under the shit. She needs to get that shit together. I'm sorry.
You know,
We should have to deal with it in the suburbs.
It's not just a Chicago thing, even though it's really easy to blame it on just Chicago. It's really
I
not.
feel like it's a lot of it's spilling over though.
Well, of course it is, but it's more of it's a policy thing. It's a whole the whole Illinois government as a whole is really just dropping the ball. Really, I think. That's why in November, like these elections are going to be important. I think.
Yeah, but I think that's also another reason why people are leaving the state.
I'm going to disagree with that because each suburb, you got Chicago, the suburbs, and you got far south suburbs and everything like that. It's not the Illinois that's responsible for law enforcement.
Oh no!
It's individually.
Right? Yeah, I'm more talking on a broader spectrum of like Pritzker on what he's doing and over 100 executive orders on just for the whole COVID thing alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he still has executive power right now, even though he was only supposed to have it for 30 days by the Illinois Constitution. But he still has the power after 2 years. It's been
the only power he's got, he doesn't have the power to control the police.
The Pritzker, no.
He's got the power to. The only thing he's got power to do is alert the National Guard.
Right. And when it comes to the town levels or the city levels, that's the mayor.
Yeah.
The mayor is the top of the police force, right?
See, what she was trying to get at is that everything's spilling over, and there's not enough cops to do that. You got Oak Lawn that. It's been quiet until all the stuff's spilling over.
Right.
So now, what are the Oak Lawn's gonna do? They're gonna have to start carrying AK-40, AKs or something like that, just assault rifles.
Oh, they do. They're in the trunks. They got them in the cars.
Yeah, because
no, thank God.
Yeah, because guy I used to work with, actually I used to work with him in Avatar of Evergreen Park. He said the problem with gangs nowadays is there's no loyalty and no respect.
Oh,
and that's why we're.
Oh man.
That's part of why we're seeing some of what we're seeing.
When I was growing up, I remember there was a vice lord I had met, and he was an older cat. He was an older guy, and he said the exact same thing. He said none of it makes sense now, and it's pointless now because there is no loyalty whatsoever anymore. It's not about the gang, because I guess before the gangs were helping the communities. The gangs took care of their communities. They protected the communities. You know,
No, they're not.
and like when I was younger, I didn't realize this until I had the conversation when I was an adult. Because when I was younger, I didn't realize all that stuff. I didn't
We were
know
kids,
that,
of course not.
I never thought about it. I never had a reason to think about it. But
We were kids. Come on.
and then as an adult, you get more and more. I guess you're more conscious with it, and you're just like, okay, I get it now. And this guy was like, yeah, we used to, when we fought. There wasn't no shootings and this and that drive-by
no
shooting and stuff.
collateral
That
damage.
stuff started in like the late '80s, early '90s, when like
Mid 90s, actually.
like the hip hop turned into gangster rap, and it was just this rivalry, and it just everybody had to be against everybody, and it was insane, And he was like, it's not the same. There's no pride in it, Instead of a guy fighting another guy and earning respect that way, he's gonna run around him, come up from behind him, and just shoot him in the back of the head, and then run off. And that's what they do now. There is no more fighting. It's I'm gonna sneak up on you, and then bow,
That's
and
what
then run
this guy
off.
said. Back in the day, they used to settle it amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Not, at first they would, if they saw people outside, they would be like, "Hey, there's going to be a problem amongst these group of people. Go back inside so nobody gets hurt." And they would wait for the people to go in, and then they would start fighting. He said, and I remember this conversation like it was yesterday. He said, now, because there's no loyalty and no respect, they don't care who's in the way. If you're in the way,
no, they just blow.
Yeah,
They just blow. And that's
what it is.
But that's the reality of it, and they control the streets now in Chicago, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I know him and his sister have been practically begging my in-laws for years to move out of the city.
I plan to. And you know what? Honest to God, that's probably the best bet.
No.
Move out of the city, move out of the county even. And if you can, move out of the state, because Illinois is it's really bad. People
I
are leaving
agree,
regardless in mass, but like it's almost becoming impossible to live here unless you're like upper middle class. Lower middle class, you're either homeless or you're struggling check to check, and you might as well be homeless.
Yeah.
You're either homeless on the street or you're homeless in your own home. It's
Oh, that reminds me of this post that I saw the same post twice on Facebook.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah. And it was about this woman. She said, I don't ever want to be middle class. I want to be either low class or upper class. Because upper class, you don't have to worry about money. You can buy what you need.
Lower class, you don't have to worry about money. You can steal what you need.
What lower class? She's like, you get help from the government with child care if you need help with child care.
Government subsidies, the
right. If you
Link
need
card,
Section 8, if you need
get the
Section 8,
yeah.
if you need Section 8, if you need food stamps, you get food stamps.
This country literally runs on the backs of the middle class.
And she's like, if you're middle class, it's like you make. And see, the problem with middle class is that you make too much money to qualify for any kind of government help, but you don't have enough. But you don't make enough to be able to pay all your bills. Not a problem.
Right.
And that's what we're living right now. We're at the point where we don't qualify for government help.
Yeah.
So therefore, we gotta pick. Okay, which bill are we going to pay right now?
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, I know how that is. That's it.
That's what it is.
We shouldn't have to forfeit one thing just to pay for it's just November.
And that's part.
November elections, man.
That's part of why
vote.
I want agency, because I was getting paid $15 an hour as a permanent employee. Okay? And that was working 40 hours a week, $15 an hour. We're both getting paid the same amount. You have no room for error.
Oh yeah. And it's like in like right now the cost of living has gone up, the price of the dollar has gone down, but yet what's the term? The living wage or whatever it's called.
Yeah, minimum wage, the cost of living.
Yeah, the cost of living is skyrocketing. My rent went up $200. I want to say within the last year and a half.
Oh shit!
Because of the area and just the value of the dollar just being garbage.
Yeah.
So it's taxes, mortgage, property tax, all that stuff.
Like nowadays, go an agency. I won't take anything less. More times than that, actually, I won't take anything less than $20 an hour. I mean, if we really, really need money one week, then I'll go maybe 18 and a quarter.
Yeah,
But
the shift,
but the shift I have tomorrow, the 2 shifts I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are all going anywhere between 21 and 26 and some change an hour.
You know what they should do? They should do away with minimum wage and hourly wage and just pay people on commission and straight salary. And then just get somebody and negotiate your worth. Because if you're paying somebody on commission, you're literally getting paid for the work that you do.
Right.
Not the amount of time you do it. No, you're getting paid for everything you do. You're getting paid for your efforts and your work ability. You know, you're getting paid for that. Like I don't know. I haven't been on an hourly wage in forever, but it's just I feel that getting being on a salary or on a commission or both is just so much better for somebody than having somebody else control how many hours you get to work.
That's exactly where I'm at right now too. Because
it's like McDonald's $15 an hour, right? Awesome. They're gonna pay for the college, right? Awesome. They're promising you all this, but guess what? They're putting you on 2 days out of the damn week. And how many hours are they gonna give you? 4 hours in one day, 6 hours the next day. And then they say, "Yep, look at you making 15, and you're coming home with an $80 check." Like what? I don't know. I don't know,
but I see that because I also know that there's people there at McDonald's that are still working full time, and it's someone doing what I do. When I was a permanent employee, even now to a point, I'm minimally responsible for the care of at least 10 people. At least, actually, I can safely say more times than not, depending on the facility, 12 to 15 people. One time, it was actually 27 people, and that was in a skilled facility where people need help with literally everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta feed them, dress them, brush their teeth for them, literally everything, and that doesn't even include a mechanical lift. And when I left that job, I was getting paid $15.75 an hour. You wanna know why? Now, COVID has been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
For healthcare workers, okay? That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, shit was going downhill before COVID hit. Now that COVID's in the picture, a lot of us are like, deuces.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what it is, okay? But it's like, but when you sit there and see that you're literally breaking your back, taking care of 10 to 15 people on average, and you sit there and you're going into Target or you're going to McDonald's and they're making the same amount as you.
Oh, it
just
drives
to flip
you crazy. It drives you crazy, doesn't it?
It's like, well, what the fuck? my ass is gonna start flipping burgers at McDonald's.
I was thinking about it as like a second side gig, just to go flip some burgers for a couple hours and then just be done with it.
Trust me, out of the several CNA groups that I'm in, each and every one has multiple people say, fuck this shit, I'm going to flip burgers at McDonald's because I'm not breaking my back.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the crap kicked out of me by either the patient or the patient's family member. I did not sign up for this shit.
Yeah. That's about all the time we have.
Yeah.
Next show, I want to touch on. I want to do like a marriage hour, or like a happiness hour, a happy hour. Yeah, call it happy hour. Talk about like whatever, whatever. Like how do you keep yourself happy? You know what I mean? Like how do you keep happy and by yourself and with your partner? Topics like that. But another time for another show. And
Yeah.
we'll be back.